some like mind-blowing but because their attention span is short, or I don't know what it is, but it's like on TikTok, people don't take the time to sit.
What up? What's happening, everybody? And welcome back to another episode, another new year of the No Clearance Podcast. I am your host, Tyler, here with Queen of the Pod herself, KCK, today in the place to be. And we have fantasy football champion, producer of the podcast himself,
Give me the
Mr.
love.
West.
Yes. I'm the champion.
Fantasy football champion.
2 times in 3 years. I don't know. I know some people who ain't won ever. You know,
That's not a
I'm
bad
new
average.
to this. I'm true to this. I may be a fantasy football savant, that some might say. I'd like to give a shout out to my runner-up Tyler.
Yes.
We both they thought we were the worst.
We were projected
last.
9th and 10th.
You know. So I'd like to humbly give you a shout out, my brother. But I will now go back into my shit. I'm that nigga for real. That's all I got to say. I'm that nigga for real. I can beat anybody. My team was nice. I went 7-7 and won the whole thing. Nobody believed in me besides myself.
Believed.
And maybe in Tyler.
We drafted together, so I believe.
Yeah, we did it together. But you know,
Okay.
me and T, we did it again. We bamboozled. And we won. All
right, let's get to it, man. Jalen's nerd news. We are breaking up this podcast more into segments that each of us can shine on. You know what I'm saying? So we starting with Jalen's nerd news because we used to push this to the end, but we're going to start to put it in the beginning for the boy.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it, brother. Yeah, I got so used to putting push to the end that I'm quick with it now.
So Jay, first, what you got for us, man?
While we were on the break, the trailer for the new Superman dropped. Okay. I sent it to you guys. I may have had a little freak out because I was just so excited.
We saw it.
So this is the first movie in the new DCU, James Gunn's DCU. He has this whole plan. He's actually making sure things are going to be done properly. He's done a bunch of interviews talking about how he wants to steer this in the right way. And if this movie fails, he says we're done. He's already said, like, I'm putting everything I can into this movie. So if it fails, there's nothing we can do. So him saying that and making that statement, and from the past things he's done movie-wise, such as the Guardians of the Galaxy franchise, ain't nobody give a fuck about that shit till he did it. So for him to take a property that everybody knows and loves and try to bring life back to it after the devastation of what was in the past, where everyone's lost hope in anything DC movie related, it's nice to see that they actually are going to try and do something different from what they're used to doing, and try also pay homage to the past good Superman movies from the 70s. So I'm just excited about this movie here. The trailer looked amazing. It was very colorful, which I feel like a lot of people weren't too like happy. It made it look a little weird, I would say. Some people said it looked cheap, but I think when it actually is in theaters and it's actually finished, what's post-production is going to look amazing. I have nothing but hope in this movie. I'm so excited. This whole lineup is going to be great.
What are your expectations when you say you're excited? Like, what do you expect to see?
I just want to see a Superman that's not a god, because Superman isn't a god. He's just a man like the rest of us. And that's how his attitude and how he was raised by his parents, to be just like everybody else and to not be like flying around like a god, like he's a god amongst men. He's just the everyday man, and all he cares about is saving people and doing the right thing. So as long as they go to that and don't have them all depressed and shit like the old ones, like the last ones they did, I think I'm just expecting a good Superman movie. That's what my expectations are. And they got Crypto, the super dog, in there. The dog was adorable. I hope it's gonna be good. And there's a black man in the movie with powers who I'm excited to see.
Is he a villain?
No, he's a good guy. His name is Mr. Terrific. He actually doesn't have powers, but he does at the same time. He's just really smart,
Okay, cool, cool, cool.
and he has like
KC,
these orbs that fly around.
what's your opinion, KC?
I mean, when I go to these movies, I don't have expectations because I feel like if you have expectations, then it's like you get let down. The trailer looked amazing though. I'm definitely hype about seeing it, but I do think sometimes when you're watching a trailer on your phone or your computer, it does not equate to what it's going to look like on TV or even in the theater. So I mean, I thought it looked pretty interesting and good, and it was like a lot of different segments and clips, but you still don't know what the like plot is or the storyline. So the interest is definitely there. I'm
He
amped.
he also said that the trailer, he was like most majority of stuff that's in the trailer
Mm.
are like the smallest. It's like 10% of the movie. It's not like you won't even know
Ooh.
anything. So like there's so much stuff in the movie they said that we wasn't even in the trailer. I will say that they have a lot of other superheroes in the movie. It looks like they had Green Lanterns, they
Mm.
had
Hmm.
Hawk Girl, they had Mr. Terrific,
Mm.
like I said earlier, and there's another one I can't think of him right now. But I'm excited for this movie. But
Um,
yeah,
if you
so
don't mind,
yeah,
let me
yeah.
just say,
You have a question. I know you have.
this ain't no question.
Okay.
DC Comics is damn near like the Dallas Cowboys. Let me refuse to get the
Well,
sports.
What
Okay.
do you mean by that?
that's
You
a
mean the
compliment.
movies or
No,
the
my
comics?
DC Comics movies is
Okay.
almost like being a Dallas Cowboys fan. You come
That's
in
tough shit.
every time expecting niggas to win a
Something
championship,
major.
something
Mm-hmm.
major, and
Mm.
at the end of the day,
It let down.
very much so. And yes, just like the Cowboys, what did they do? The Cowboys, you get a new head coach. Oh, we're excited.
Mm.
Oh, a new coach. He's going to do. Oh, he won a Super Bowl in the past. Oh, he
Mm.
gonna come here and turn the team around. And wow, James Gunn. Yes, he does have an impressive record. Yes, he does have an impressive record um, with you can say a franchise in Guardians of the Galaxy that if you could take something that nobody gave a shit about and make it big, that's different than taking Superman, which these niggas we have made about six. I'm just pulling
It's a
up a
lot.
number.
It's
I'm
actually
just
a
pulling up
lot.
a number.
It's a
We've
lot.
we've made a shitload of Supermans. I find it very interesting that he's starting with Superman to try and um, turn DC Comics around.
Well, you kind of have to. You
Just
kind of have
because
to.
of the repetitious nature of making a Superman movie. That's just my and I'm just stating my opinion. This is not, you know what I'm saying?
But
You know,
I feel
and
like you kind
then
of have to though.
but my final thing is I'm just interested to see what he does without Marvel, without Feige helping out. It's just I'm just very interested.
Mm.
All I'm saying is I did see the trailer and it is what it is. We gonna see what happens when the movie drops. Like it didn't make me be like, oh, this is gonna be great.
Mm.
That's valid. That's valid.
But I
I
look
could.
forward to. Am I gonna go on opening day? No, I got a kid. I probably can't even
You
wouldn't even
probably ain't
be
even
there.
gonna go to the
No, but I'm
theater.
gonna
You
be
ain't even
honest.
gonna
I
go to
think
the theater.
sometimes it's overrated to go on opening day. Like I want the hype to, you know what I mean?
You
I
want to
want to
see
go
that?
and enjoy it.
I feel like
Yeah.
it's only good opening day if you're with a group of people.
Yeah.
Like you gotta be with a couple folk. You can't just be with you and one person or by yourself because it's gonna be ruined.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Superman, Jay, I believe there's a Supergirl movie coming as well.
Yeah. So with James Gunn making Superman, he's also has already announced all his next slates of movies coming out.
If
I don't
Superman works,
if Superman works,
gotcha.
which
Oh,
I
so this is not
think
set in stone type shit.
no, it's set in stone. They casted folk. Like honestly, I think even though he said that, even if it don't work, it has to lose a lot of money.
Mm.
Fair.
And I don't think it's gonna lose any money. As long as it makes money, they're gonna go forward. I respect that he's saying what he's saying, but like also at the same time, I'm like, if the shit still make $1 billion and everyone thinks it sucks, they
Yeah.
still gonna go forward, you know. But anyways, so one of the movies he announced is Supergirl coming out. I think in 2026 maybe.
Oh,
And that's gonna star the girl from House of the Dragon. What's her name? Young Rhaenyra, the young one.
Oh,
So she gonna be
okay.
Supergirl. But that's not even the part I'm excited about. I'm excited about the casting of Jason Momoa as Lobo. So this is the character he actually thought he was gonna get cast as when they first came to him for Aquaman. Like he's kind of like born to
oh,
play this role. Like if you were to search up DC Lobo,
yeah.
the nigga looks like Jason Momoa. It's actually kind of insane. Like even so, like I feel like this is a good casting. This is a good sign that they're actually listening to what the people want. On top of
Yep,
Oh my
that's
God,
what
he
it
yeah,
seems
does look
like.
like
yeah.
Yeah,
See,
him.
you
that's
seeing it?
crazy.
They're looking it up now for the people listening.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
it's crazy, right?
Oh
So
my
like
gosh. Yeah.
this is another thing that's making me more excited for this new DC. There's another thing that's not on topic is they also casted Aaron Pierre to be Green Lantern as well.
Talking about Malcolm X?
Yeah, dude from
Okay.
Rebel Ridge,
Yeah, yeah,
who was in
yeah. I still
Mufasa.
gotta watch
He
that.
played
Okay.
Mufasa.
God dang it.
Yeah, so
This
he's
man
gonna
is
be in
cashing
the
the
Green
checks.
Lantern television show on HBO Max.
Mm.
Protect this nigga at all costs.
Yeah, yeah.
I do
Oh,
not. Oh
Hey,
completely.
Lord
he
Jesus.
has a white
Completely.
wife. He does have a white wife, by the way. If y'all didn't know,
Who?
You ain't
Aaron
had to
Pierre.
swat. You ain't had to talk. You ain't had to
Yeah,
bring that
he
up.
got a white wife. So like, we guys
I
gotta keep
love
our
that.
fingers
I love that.
crossed.
That's great.
Yeah, we gotta keep our
I love
fingers
that for him.
crossed and not hope we
He
don't get
found
another
love.
Jonathan Majors moment. But yeah, that's Jalen's nerd news. A lot of Superman DC stuff.
Word, word, word. Well, Jay, we appreciate you, man.
Hey,
Hey, man, I'm excited. All right, let's move on to our next segment. We got KC with the T. All right, you know, KC
Tea
is
time.
yes, she
Okay,
with all the
so
drama. Let's get to
this
it.
is some delayed tea mixed with some new tea.
Mm-hmm.
So bear with. So first things first, we saw that Chloe was out in I want to say Nigeria, right? Correct? With
yeah, she was in
the
Africa.
African giant. Yeah, the guy.
Last, last.
Yeah. The guy, the myth, the legend, Burner Boy.
He,
Now, it has been known that Burner Boy is a major mama's boy. And so, if anybody knows anything, mama's boys is never a good mix. Like, it's not, they're used to getting their
well,
way. They're not used to getting, you know what I mean? They're just
that's
not used to navigating the world without their mama.
ooh,
It doesn't help that his mom, I believe, is his manager as well. So that is not fun. But he had a relationship with another, I feel like she is somebody that's like popular on social media. Their relationship is kind of toxic because they kind of go back and forth. He plays in her face and then
oh.
she's like welcomes him back with open arms, and this man openly dates other women and kind of does like his, he lives a rock star lifestyle, which not blaming him because it's like, fuck, to each its own, live your life. But I do think it's a little problematic on the woman's end to continue to walk into this thinking you're going to, a form of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, thinking it's going to be different. So seeing him with Chloe, I'm like, Chloe is, how can I say this? I think we've seen Chloe when she was younger, right? Kind of like Disney age, right? And she's become a woman. I would say that she hasn't perfected the transition. And what I mean by this is the transition as far as like going from like being a kid in society to now I'm like a full grown adult. I do adult things. A prime example of this being done well, I would say, is Beyonce. If we're gonna be honest, Beyonce did Girls Time, Destiny's Child. She's sexy, but it was like little by little. Chloe went from banging on a guitar with her sister in the living room to twerking in nylon stockings. And there, you can't
Sometimes
just
without
go
the stockings.
sometimes without the fucking stockings. Now, I'm all for women empowerment, women freedom, but I think society hasn't adjusted to this like grown womanness, and it kind of feels like she's shoving it in our face. So fast forward to her being with Burna Boy, it seems like I don't think she's ready for the level of I don't know, man he is. Like he's not somebody that's like, I want to hold your hand in public and, let's go skipping and frolicking through the flowers. He's a nigga that's like, hey, you know what time it is. I would even say he's up there with Future. And we know where I hold Future. I'm not mad at Future, but Future he's a dog.
I was
Can
gonna
I-
say that. I was gonna say.
I was trying to avoid
I
that
was
word.
gonna say. I was gonna say.
But to that extent,
why does she look like a little kid holding his head
yeah,
when they would
a
come walking
puppy,
out the
a
club?
puppy.
Like she looked like a puppy. Like she was like, oh.
But I will,
like,
and here's my thing: Burna Boy don't owe nobody shit. He's not in a relationship. If he wants to be, with multiple women, that's absolutely okay. But I just need Chloe to know, hey sister, the moment you get on that plane and go back home, somebody's in your spot.
Mm.
He's literally let multiple women wear his chains. Like
feel
there's
like-
no, and maybe after Gunner, her little situation with Gunner, she's like, I just want to have fun, and I love that for her life.
I feel like she ain't ready for this level of dude.
No.
Like I feel like this dude. Like I don't think. Now I don't know the woman. I don't know her, but from how it looks, maybe
No,
because
she seems
like you
cool.
said,
This
like
is not
like
a Chloe hate train.
like
by
you
the way.
said, we're used to seeing her as a little kid, so it's like, hey yo, this brother, this
He's
nigga,
a dog.
this a
Yeah,
nigga,
he's out
man,
here
this
like
a
that.
nigga. He go like I don't think she ready for this. But like,
I'm
what's
telling
about to
you.
go down after they
I'm
left the
telling you.
club? I feel like she might be sprung. He gonna have
Yeah,
a. He gonna
and
have a.
literally in the
He gonna
videos, if you
have
go
this
on
girl
Twitter and you
messed
look at
up.
the videos, she is like
He's
she
tearing
looks like
that
she's
girl
been
up. That's what I was trying to avoid
raw.
saying. He's tearing that up.
Yeah,
He's tearing it up, and she has no idea.
but yeah.
What was you
So
gonna say,
that's
Tyler?
yeah.
All right, well,
Tyler had something to say.
First, KC. I feel like we shouldn't be comparing no one to Beyonce,
What do you
to how
mean?
Beyonce handles anything. Like,
No, but you have okay. So okay, let's not do
Like-
Beyonce. Cool. No, let's not do Beyonce. Let's say who's another artist that I felt like had a nice transition and it wasn't like too much.
Keke Palmer.
Ooh, that's a solid one. Keke Palmer, she literally did Aquila and the Bee, right? We're used to, okay, girl, you get them flashcards. You spell those words to, oh, I know it ain't. Yeah, it was a solid transition. It wasn't like,
Maybe
I
because
think
we
when
grew up
Keke
with her.
came out that she was pregnant, it's like, oh shit, this is proof that Keke be fucking.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? We didn't even know
Like
Keke
her
be
sister,
fucking.
honestly, like her sister, I didn't know she was having sex till she
Holly's
popped
another
out
good
pregnant.
example.
Yeah.
When
Actually, she
came
didn't
out
even
pregnant,
pop
it's like,
out pregnant. She popped out with a baby.
but we knew. The girlies knew. Girl, we could tell by the dress.
We knew.
You ain't never wore nothing baggy like that before. The stomach damn near coming through that dress. Be fucking for real. And then had the nerve to be like, my nose is not spreading. I'm black. Bitch, it's spreading because you're pregnant. Don't play with black people like that. Don't do that.
I don't know. I mean, look, I will say it looks interesting. It looks.
It's definitely a sight. It's a sight. It's
and
intriguing.
yeah, if it's one of those things where she like, yeah, I just want a good time.
I love that
It
shout
looked
out
like
to
she
her.
having a good time.
I will
Yeah,
say
she
this,
looked like she was having fun.
Yeah.
on the other end, if the boys settle down, then shout out to
I
Burna
don't
Boy.
think old boy settling down, bro.
He's
You
not.
seen how he walked out with her in the club? He wasn't walking out with her like
It
she
looked
was
very
his
protective.
like he was walking out with her like I'm bringing you back. We
It
going
looked
back
very
to come to this
protective
Lambo.
me,
We
you
going
know?
back to the bungalow and we gonna get bungalow if you know what I'm saying.
I fucking hate you. Oh yeah, but Shorty
What
came
would
back.
look better,
He
though?
was seen with somebody else. So I was just like, okay, so
What was a good? What would be someone who you have rather seen her with?
Diggy Simmons.
Fuck out of here! I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Diggy. Oh man, Diggy.
I only
I'm
said that because
sorry.
the show. I only said that because the show.
Yeah, I know.
you know what?
My bad,
But they
Diggy,
weren't.
my
It
bad.
wasn't
I ain't-
bad. I
It wasn't a
mad
bad
at
looking
it.
couple. Like if
It
he had a
wa-
little
they
bit
weren't bad
notoriety,
looking.
if he was a little bit more famous,
I feel like Chloe need to be with a thicker nigga.
She did.
She's a skinny nigga.
yeah, I mean, she's is it because she's thick?
Yeah.
Is
She
that
can't
why
be
you
with
said
nobody
yeah.
skinny.
Yeah.
You got to be with somebody that
She
can
got to
handle
be
that.
with a football player. To be honest, and Burna Boy low key built like a football player. I didn't realize he was built like that.
You know who I want to see Burna Boy with, and I want to see it just so he gets taken down a couple pegs. Because Lori Harvey, I don't know what she got going on, but she know how to bring niggas back to earth.
Yo, she had Michael B looking like a regular man at one point.
Yo, and that man for a
Y'all
long
gonna
time
stop.
seemed untouchable.
Y'all gonna
Yeah.
stop talking about that man.
Hey,
Y'all gonna
she
stop
had
talking about
Michael B a regular nigga just like the
Bro.
rest of us. He like
Bro,
anime.
That nigga done grew out his
He was-
stash. She's like,
he
yeah,
was
I'm going
doing
through
the
it.
movie though. There's a movie trailer out where he got the stash.
Yeah, okay.
I'm talking about before that.
You don't think he was working on that at the time?
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying, man. I'm just
I ain't
saying.
putting that on my nigga, man.
I just
Yeah.
say
And I
the
ain't
old
even
boy,
lying.
he
if he-
looked
I
like a
ain't
regular
I'm
lying
telling
to the
you,
nigga for. I ain't
you
putting
have-
that on my nigga, man.
No,
Alright,
Lori
so-
Harvey and Burna Boy, I would love to see that. That would be interesting.
Lori Harvey is a light skinned devil, and I know it. She does. She
Not
comes in
devil.
and she destroys, and she just
No,
destroys black
she-
men's
she
hearts
is-
with her beauty. She's a succubus. She's a.
I don't think so. She's a savior. She's walking revenge, and I love to see it. Lori girl, do your thing. Figure it out. Yeah. Mhm.
Some women just can't be that fine.
Yeah. Well, in brighter news and more positive news, that was a good transition. We have an engagement announcement. No, it's not me. You guys are so sweet. It is Zendaya and Tom Holland. Spider-Man. I love this. I know I talked shit before about short kings. Okay. I didn't even call y'all kings at the time. Y'all are short kings. You understand? This is a short
growth.
king who's finally thriving. Finally, he's putting the short niggas on the fucking map. Climbing that tree called Zendaya.
Yeah, 'cause
I
she
love
tall.
it. The ring is beautiful. It's not too much. It's very elegant. How you say that?
Elegant.
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 Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm. English is my second language.
We got it
fuck.
together. We got it together.
And it's classy and it's timeless. I love when you get engagement rings that are. It's not about the diamond, right? It's it
No,
is
that
about the
diamond.
diamond.
That's a bit,
But
that's a solid
I
diamond.
think you can do too much for an engagement ring. I've seen some celebrity engagement rings that I'm like, that was too much. Now, okay, it's expensive, but it doesn't look good. It's a thin line between trashy and flashy.
Sometimes
you know?
they be looking like a mess of diamonds.
You know whose ring I just never really liked too much? Because I felt like it didn't fit her hand, Cardi B. It was too much of a rock. That's the other thing. I feel like Zendaya's ring it really does complement her hand, and it's not too much.
You gotta
Cardi
think
B's
about
ring
these
I
things.
wasn't a fan of. Beyonce's new
Yeah.
engagement ring or wedding ring, because he fucked up the first one. Really nice, classic. I think we're getting into this phase of like doing a lot of gold and simple diamonds. And I
Yeah,
love
keep it
that.
simple.
Yeah,
Yeah, because a
keep it
lot of
simple.
y'all
You ain't
ask for
gotta-
too much.
Because this is for life. And I think that's
for
the other
life,
thing.
yeah.
You
a lot
know?
of y'all,
Life.
a lot of regular people ask for too much.
Yeah.
So with that being said, for the celebrities to make it simple, thank you.
Yeah.
The fellas should be grateful.
I mean, the rock was nice. It's a good size rock.
The
bro.
rock.
It's
That was
solid.
probably-
It
that was probably
was
like
a good ring.
2-3 carat. 2-3, probably.
Oh Lord, that's a lot.
That's a lot. It was nice.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
One
Y'all be-
carat
that's the
is a
problem.
solid
Y'all pick
size.
a ring, don't know how much this shit costs.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
sick of y'all.
Oh,
Oh my goodness, that's a lot. Oh,
1 carat is a lot of money. Imagine
Oh,
2, 3.
jeez.
Cool.
Oh,
Well,
I know,
anyway.
Jalen. I was with you when you got Jalen.
Yes, you was
brother.
there.
My nigga said, "Hold on, can you put that back?"
Yeah. Whoa.
got me messed up, boy. Got me flustered.
Shoot. I will say I like how she did it by not
you
saying
mean?
nothing. She just showed up with the ring.
Period.
Hey, she didn't go no news outlets. She just showed up to the Golden Globes with a ring. Like, give me my award. Oh, I already got it.
Shout out to Tom Holland shooting it with
Yeah.
that web.
Solid guy. What he say?
He said, shout out to Tom Holland shooting it with that web.
I'm fucking screaming.
Hey, the nigga do a backflip. Nigga do backflip. Hey, he backflipping in that,
He bad flipping.
They just
Making
play
some
Twister all the
lemonade from
time.
the
They're
lemon
just respectable
trees.
adults. They play Twister.
Oh man,
what?
that is
Practice
KC's
lines.
tea. That is KC's tea, and now Casey is now our football expert. It is time for KC's picks.
And that's the joke of it all.
All
really.
right, the joke of it all, man. We got KC's picks here. KC, it is playoff time.
Yes.
Right.
It is playoff
It's go
time. We are
time.
in the wild card round of the NFL.
Okay.
Okay. How many of these teams? 6 of these teams. This is the first round of playoffs.
Mm.
Each conference, 7 teams make the playoffs, but only one team gets a bye week. So now we have 6 teams playing in the first round.
Okay.
All right. We have first game on Saturday. My bad. Yeah, first game on Saturday. We got the Los Angeles Chargers versus the Houston Texans. The game is in Houston, KC. So beware of the traffic if you're going out Saturday. The Texans are 10-7, while the Chargers are 11-6. KC, who you got?
Mm. Damn.
It's tough now because it's the playoffs. All the teams are good.
Yeah.
It's a tough one. This is a tough one.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it could go either way because the Houston are good, but they're inconsistent. The
They're
Chargers,
not
I don't know how they made the
consistent.
playoffs, but hey, good for them.
Houston has a good quarterback, but he's lacking a couple of his receivers due to
His best
injury.
friend got hurt.
They have one really good receiver at the moment,
Yeah.
but they have to bank on their defense to win this game. The Chargers are trying to bully the team, like whoever they play against, they try to bully them. A real solid running game, and
Mm.
their quarterback, I think this is his first year in. Now this will their quarterback. This is his first year in the playoffs. I'm pretty sure.
I think so.
First
Yeah,
or
I think
second. First or
something like
second. The
that.
Okay.
first time they had a lead, and he was that they was up 28 and lost. If I'm correct, and this time, yeah, he's back on the road. Second time in the playoffs. First or second.
Okay.
New head coach.
For
But
Chargers?
yeah, for the
Mm-hmm.
Chargers. But the coach
Mm.
last time he coached in the NFL, um, he has taken the team to a Super Bowl before. So
I'll say this: Houston is not consistent enough for me to bank on them. I'll go with the Chargers.
all
Oh,
right, there
all
we
right,
go.
all
There we
right.
go. With the Saturday night game, we have the AFC East rivalry. We got the Pittsburgh Steelers. Shout out to Glorilla against the Baltimore Ravens and
Oh,
Lamar
This a
Jackson.
tough one. This a real tough one.
KC, who you got? Oh, in the regular season, they split 1-1.
okay.
Both teams won on their home field. This game is in Baltimore. KC, who you got?
This game is in Baltimore. I'll give it to B more.
Well, you got to be
All
more
right.
careful. Here we go. We're going to Sunday's games. At
Okay.
the 1 o'clock spot, we have the Denver Broncos versus the Buffalo Bills. The
Mm.
Bills, led by Josh Allen, are 13-4, while the Broncos are 10-7. When I tell you the Bills look like the second best team
Mm.
in football,
Bills are
this is no
good.
lie. They are really good. Now, the only problem is they're playing in Buffalo. And you would think home field advantage is good. But when it comes to the Bills, it's so freaking cold up there.
Mm.
It
Yeah,
doesn't necessarily work out the way you would think.
fucking freezing.
It is
Mm.
fucking cold.
What's give me the stats again?
The Bills are 13-4. The
Mm-hmm.
Broncos are 10-7. The Broncos have a rookie quarterback in Bo Nix.
Oh, Knicks.
I'm gonna say the Bills then.
That's a great selection.
Yeah, I was gonna
All
say,
right,
pick,
we're
yeah,
going to
can't
the
go wrong with the Bills.
4:30 game. The Green Bay Packers play the Philadelphia Eagles in Philly. The Eagles are 14-3, and the Packers are
Philadelphia, next
11
one.
and 6. Let's go. Shout out to Philly. And now the night game is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Washington Commanders. The Buccaneers are
I think
10 and
that's
7.
insane. Washington Commanders. Like, who was coming up with the names?
I mean, it's better
There's a
than
rumor.
Redskins.
There's a rumor that
Mm.
there's a rumor that all the possible names somebody bought and wanted to sell it. And so
So
they
motherfuckers was being cheap. Got it.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
The Washington Commanders are 12-5. The
I kind of like the
Buccaneers are 10 and
Commanders.
7. The game is in Tampa Bay. Who you got,
Games
Case?
in Tampa Bay. What's the Buccaneers?
10-7.
10-7. And what was the other one?
Washington Commanders are 12-5.
Hmm. gonna do Commanders. Their
Ooh,
name is
interesting
annoying, so they
selection.
might actually,
It's gonna be a
Ooh.
weird one. I don't know who's gonna win it.
I think Tampa Bay gonna pull it out, but that's
I
just because I can't stand Washington. So here we
and
go.
I'm rooting for Baker too.
We got final game of the wild card weekend is the Los Angeles Rams
Okay.
Oh, they
versus
made the playoffs. Good for
yep Los Angeles Rams versus the Minnesota Vikings. The game is in Los Angeles.
Okay.
The Rams are 10-7. The Vikings are 14-3.
Vikings are good.
But the Vikings have to go on the road. And last time they played, I believe the Rams won at LA. They played this season in LA and the Rams won. But yeah, Vikings are record wise look like a better team. However, the Rams are on a roll.
They are.
They have
Mm.
kind of
They
figured
might
it
have
out these last
motivation. They might be like feeling dedicated to
and
like
got momentum.
pull it out.
Yeah.
But the Vikings got a Cinderella story right now.
This is very similar to the year the Vikings have had these type of years.
They got a Cinderella story
couple
right
times.
now. Yeah.
They've had these type of years a couple times where the starter gets hurt, the backup comes in, the backup plays really well.
Yeah.
He ain't done well enough to get to a Super Bowl, but he does well.
Uh-huh.
And
this nigga's playing out of his mind. I never thought in my
this nigga's
life
playing
I
out
would
of his
say
mind.
I never thought in my life I would say Sam Darnold is balling. His last name is Darnold.
The problem is the
Wow.
Rams have Matthew Stafford,
Yeah.
Okay.
Super Bowl winning quarterback, been
Yeah,
to
he
the
did.
playoffs a million times at this point. Not a million times. That's not true. Been to the playoffs a decent amount of times.
Mm.
And they have two really good receivers.
Mm-hmm.
And what team is that
Really.
again?
The Los Angeles
Los
Rams. The
Angeles
Vikings
Rams.
are the
You
ones
know
with
what?
the back.
They're playing in Los Angeles. I'll give it to the Rams.
I ain't gonna lie,
Yeah.
that's gonna be a hell of a game.
It's gonna be a
But
good
I
one.
think LA gonna pull it out too. I'm with you on that one.
I
I
feel
don't
like
know who
home
I don't know who to pick
advantage
for.
is a thing.
So the Chiefs and the Lions got the bye.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
All right. That
I
is
want the Lions
KC's
to win.
picks. If you put money on that game and you get some cash,
Run it.
man, make sure you
Do a nice
use
little
that
parlay.
money.
Do a little
Use
parlay.
that money and subscribe to the No Clearance Patreon. Please go to patreon.com/no clearance if you want more content from us, such as the Convo from the Convo, where we discuss some things we just can't talk about on this
You
show.
understand?
Unless you give us $5. That's
Unless
all
you
it
give us
is. We're
$5
not
for
very
$5 a
expensive
month.
to tell our secrets. But
All right.
Tell our secrets.
Now let's get to the main topic of the week. So for those who on TikTok, you actually may have seen one of our reels. I know we're not like that popular, but we had a reel.
Shit, me.
we had a reel go viral. KC discussing as a black woman her opinion. As a black woman about how she feels about mine, Casey. If you anytime you want to step in on this explanation before we get into what you say, let me know. But the video was just about how the video says pretty much how she felt like as a black woman, the black women feel like they're the second choice in regards to relationships and whatnot. And the comments was fucked up. Respectfully, not respect. Like
no, disrespectfully.
yeah, it was
the
fucked
comments
up.
was cold. Now, mind you, it's a lot of comments. A lot of these profiles look weird on the technical standpoint. It looked like It looked like some bots. It was crazy. You go to the profiles. And I was like, nigga only got one picture. Shit's crazy.
Yeah, it's one post.
With all that being said, either way, I'm not saying none of this to like make light on the situation. It was just fucking weird. But Casey, would love to hear what you had to say in response to the comments on the video.
Okay, so my the volume's like super low, but I'll start off by saying and when I get anxious I smile, so bear with. But it's disappointing for sure. Like I think there was a level of disappointment mixed with me not being surprised, right? I think it is a prime example of what I said being like happening in real time. I think that it's unfortunate that people didn't engage more with the conversation or engage more with what I was saying or trying to say. I think that oftentimes when you hold a mirror to people, they usually have two responses. One, fuck, she read me. Okay. Like, how do you know what I mean? And they own up to the shit. Or two, you get defensive and you deflect. And I think a lot of men deflected. I think there was like 700 worth of men deflecting and resorting to like fat phobic and hateful comments. And I want to say that I truly enjoy podcasting. I enjoy creating content. So the comments and things like that are not going to stop me from creating the content and speaking my mind and speaking my truth. It only highlights the hate that's out there. And I think that it is something that is this is not like a KC thing, right? Like this is something that other women of color and just women in general go through. And I think the fact that we can't own up to uh, Black women being mistreated and follow up with the hateful comments, like I said, it's not surprising, but it's disheartening because it's like, damn, like your own. And don't get me wrong, there were some people in there that weren't not of color, right? And saying hateful comments, but those people don't matter. I think it hurts more when it's somebody from your community or from a group that you identify with. Now, I will say, I do appreciate people that reached out to me and were like, bitch, you ain't black, or bitch, you light skinned. You got, life a little easier. And to that, I say, you absolutely are right. I speak my truth and I didn't name my privilege in being a fair skinned woman of color, right? The things I experience are going to be different from a woman who is of a darker color, not to say that, not to compare, I guess, our struggles, but it does look different. And so I want to own that and name that. And I appreciate that people pointed that out. Now, these men or accounts were sketchy, were weird. I went ahead and I was like, you know what? Let me click on your profile. Let's see what's up. You don't have no videos, you don't have no pictures. Your shit's private. Your profile picture is a picture of Trump. That speaks volumes. You know what I mean? It's unfortunate, but once again, these are people whose backs are bigger than mine, right? Um you are struggling with your own, reflection of yourself and your own confidence, and you deflect and you put that on people outside of yourself, because it's a lot easier to poke fun at somebody else for the flaws that you have. And I do think it bothers people for me to be a Black woman and have an opinion and stand on it. It does bother people, and I mean, I understand why, but I'm not changing who I am. I am who I am. The only thing I ask is that if you get on anybody's platform, not just No Clearance, not just Dare to Talk, but anybody's platform and spew hatred, take the time and say, hey, is this something that I need to put out in the world? Is this necessary? Is this going to make or break the situation? Because when I tell y'all, if I was somebody that was not of a strong mindset, I would have easily took that as an opportunity to unalive myself. And I'm being honest, because too often I know students have harmed themselves or other people have harmed themselves because of cyberbullying, and I'm not going for it. And I'm going to use my platform in anything that I am tying myself to I'm anti-hate. I'm not with it. So if you are on any platform, make sure that you're not spewing hate, and think about, damn, before I talk about somebody else's back, somebody else being heavy, when was the last time I got on the scale?
Yeah.
When was the last time I went to the dentist?
Good
Right?
point.
And there was one woman, I think of color, who was just like, she need to, if she get her hair and her nails done and all this. That's another issue as well. That's another layer, is like we feel like we have to be done up all the time. I purposely get on here and I purposely don't, you know what I mean? Do my brows, do the lashes, because you can absolutely be beautiful in your skin. You can absolutely be beautiful without a fucking 30-inch bust down. That's another issue that y'all have too. Y'all have been brainwashed that beauty looks one way, and if you don't look like an Instagram baddie, that you're absolutely repulsive. That's not the point. That's not the case. And I'm going to be honest, A lot of these Instagram baddies, you wipe that makeup off, the
They
skin underneath
busted.
is not
They busted.
it's not together. So really take this time, y'all, to reflect and get your mind right. And no, Casey's still gonna talk that shit. I'm still
Yo,
gonna get
talk
on
your
this mic.
shit. Talk your shit, KC.
Period.
Talk your
Skin is
shit.
clear.
Yeah.
Drink water. I stay hydrated. I mind my fucking business. Yeah. And
Hey,
TikTok is just weird clientele
Yeah,
in general.
it's either
Like,
super positive or super negative. It's like no in
there's
between.
no in
There's no in
between.
between. It's like when they get a lot of negative shit, they push the negative, push the people who want to say negative shit. But when you get positive shit, they push the positive. It's very problematic.
Very.
I'd like to just say, but I'm sorry, Casey. I feel like I should have done more. I didn't know what to do in this situation.
Mm,
I wanted to. I don't want you to ever feel like we don't protect black women, because that's one thing me and Tyler always try to make focus on, is that
mm.
we respect, we care for, and we protect black women at the end of the day. You know, that's something that like I value in my life. So in this situation, it kind of literally, like you said earlier, it proved your fucking point. You know, like literally nobody listened to you, to what you were saying. They just attacked you. They didn't even listen to what you were saying, because what you literally was saying was exactly what they were doing. So it's just like a bunch of like ignorant ass dudes who it just pissed me off too. I'm sorry. I just want to apologize. You had to go through that. I mean, a weaker person would have, like you said.
I'm telling you,
Not
and
well,
I
not
think
even
people
a
don't think
weaker
about that.
person, not even a weaker person, but like
no, for real. Yeah, you're right.
If
some.
you caught somebody on a bad day, I'm
Yeah, you
telling you,
caught someone on a
that's
bad day. That could have been the straw that broke the camel's back.
13th reason. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you
And
know, Casey, I was very hesitant making this clip. Just for all purposes, I did make the clip.
Mm,
I was the one that clipped it up, and um, there was part of me was like, man, I don't even know if I should put this in the group chat. But I thought what you said was powerful.
mm,
So it was like, why would I? Like, it felt like me. It was like I was gonna like dim your light if I didn't,
mm-hmm.
put in there, at least give y'all the option to be like, do you feel like this shit should go out or not?
And I will say, like, it received positive views on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
People
yeah.
reached out and, like there was positivity attached to it. But I think, like we said, like I think TikTok the clientele is weird. And it's not just our platform, right? There's other podcasters who are like, yo, I'm getting cooked on TikTok. And it's
Mhm.
literally, they say some like mind blowing shit, but because their attention span is short, or I don't know what it is, but it's like on TikTok, people don't take the time to sit with shit,
Yeah.
and it's just like
They just
understand where people's,
respond.
yeah. And I'm not saying I want yes men in the comments. Absolutely not saying you got to agree with me. You know what I mean? The way niggas chewed me up over the short nigga shit, I was like, respectfully, you got it.
You did
But
disrespect some folk, so the
yeah,
backlash. In this one, you didn't disrespect anyone.
no, none at
You were
all.
talking about, basically, you were saying yourself, but you were all being general. Like, you were
Yeah.
talking about the mindset of a black woman, and everyone was taking it literal. And I
Hmm.
mean, yes, it's literal, but it's also a generalization of how black women are treated in this, and just treated in general, not even in this country, in the world. Like,
Yeah.
it's just, it kind of pisses me off how black women are always so disrespected, but then they're also expected to be the smartest and the best. But then they want
You got to
then
be 10
and
times
then, and then
better.
you also gotta have the thickest skin in the world, because everyone's just gonna shit on you.
Yeah.
It
So
sucks.
I mean, it does suck, but I feel like I did see some comments of people like backing me up and supporting
There's
me,
a
and I
few.
do appreciate
There
that.
was a few.
And I don't want the negative to overshine those people who understood and was like, nah, y'all are messed up, y'all are not right. Um, I think for me, there's certain things that on black women is like seen as negative and like bad, but it's like if somebody else, had these same qualities, is it an issue? No. I think somebody mentioned my voice and it's like, oh, the way she talks. I'm from Boston. I'm not changing. You know what I mean? I'm not changing how I talk. I'm not softening that shit up. If a woman's voice or the way she talks to you impacts you and makes you feel some type of way, you got to do some soul searching, brother. Like you got to figure out your ego and check that shit. And this is a prime example of a lot of men needing to go and work through, themselves for real. You shouldn't, if you feel so impacted by somebody speaking their own truth and that bothers you and that riles you up, you got to figure some shit out. That's a you problem. Yeah.
There was one chick in there that literally was like, y'all complain that women don't listen, yet y'all can't effectively communicate, and you're not even like, basically she was saying that like y'all aren't listening to what she's saying. Like literally, like what the fuck's wrong with y'all? That's annoying.
Yeah.
And KC, when we make this content, especially when you're like the focal point,
Yeah.
I just want to let you know, especially since after the short guy situation, right?
Yeah.
We was really
Shout out my short kings.
the
Yeah.
short kings. We was really like, all right, from this standpoint, like we got to be more cognizant of how we create this stuff to
Mm.
display her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So with that, of course, with that being said, like once again, like I apologize for making that. I mean, of course, like I really thought you had
I was gonna
a
say it was a
powerful
good. It was a
statement.
good
Yeah.
clip. It was a pretty
Yeah.
good
And
fucking
it, and
clip.
and Tyler,
But
I want to
also,
name. There was
real
nothing
quick,
wrong with that clip. There was
real
There
nothing.
was
quick
nothing
though.
wrong with it.
Nah,
Yeah.
real quick though, KC, but I just want to let you know this because me and Jake, we talk about this all the time.
Mm.
We really feel like you you really could be like a star. Like a legit star in this like media shit.
Mm.
Like you really have a great personality, hilarious, like fucking hilarious. You talk that shit, and it's something that just ain't seen everywhere. And it's
Mm.
like, damn, we be wanting to do whatever we can to get you out there, but it's also these niggas is cold. These
Yeah.
niggas out here is just fucking disrespectful. So it's weird playing like feeling like you walking on tightrope, but it's like we really trying to like show you off in the sense.
Oh,
Like
I
I don't know
appreciate
if
you
that's the
guys.
right time, but I just wanted to let you know where our headspace is
Mm-hmm.
when we put stuff out there for you. But it's also like, bruh, if these niggas,
We
you wish you
support
could
you.
just see a nigga and slap him
Mm-hmm.
in the fucking
Yeah,
face.
like
You know
we
what I'm saying?
support you. Like I don't want you to feel like when we put stuff out there, and just because we ain't saying nothing,
Mm.
we're in silence because we're in a silently agreeing with you because we
Yeah,
agree with what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like I feel like if we was like didn't agree with anything you said, we wouldn't even have
I
you on
wouldn't
the
put it
show.
out. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, we wouldn't even have you on the show. Like we could disagree about stupid shit, but when it's serious shit like that,
Yeah.
like I feel like all of our like morals and beliefs align very
Mm.
like the same way. So like when you say stuff like this on the podcast, we be like, damn, that's fire shit, man. Casey, yo, she talking that
I'm
talk.
telling you,
So
we
like
just talking that
we
shit.
are always coming from a place of like, hey, she talking that talk, man. Especially when we make it a clip. You know when it's a
Yeah.
clip, that's that shit. At least
Mm.
that's what we try to do, make it that shit,
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
for real. But nah,
but
on
yeah,
the main point of what the video was though, like we niggas gotta stop acting like that shit not real.
yeah.
Like we've all been to situations. Even I was talking to my wife the other day. We've been in situations where you, black people all together pre-gaming at a pre-gaming, you know what I'm saying,
Mm.
before you go out. This specifically, I'll just bring up college situation. Pre-gaming before you go out, all the black people, we all kicking in, having a good time, right? And then when you get to another party, and it's like you know, I've seen brothers really catch vibes with a shorty before in the pregame, but then you get to the party, as soon as the white women come out, these niggas just scatter.
That's insane.
And I mean, and mind you, this is not just white women, but I'm just
Mm.
saying, I'm just telling you from what we've seen from our point of view. These niggas just scatter like they ain't just like enjoy conversation with the girl or really like get to know somebody. Like it's just kind of wild. And not to say you can't have other options, but it just looks if you seen it from a if you could see it from a black woman's perspective, this shit looks crazy.
Yeah, it does.
It's
It
wild.
just looks wild.
Like they
That-
literally can't do nothing. This is why I wanted to talk about the Angel Reese thing, because this is where my brain was. Because I'm like, look,
Mm.
another black woman being disrespected on a podcast forum. And
Yeah.
can't even dress promiscuous without being called a hoe. But that
And I
little
think
little white Becky come out in some fucking skimpy shit. Oh, she fine, she sexy. But like
Hey,
the black
bro,
woman, oh, she want to sell,
if Hawk
but
she
hold
Tuah
want
on,
to
was
I'll
sell her
even
black,
box
take it.
on the
I'll
internet.
take it a step further too. I think growing up, and I'm pretty sure I'll bet my whole entire life on this. Black girls, when we grow up, we are automatically over sexualized.
Mm-hmm.
When your uncle come over, when your brother come over, you can't have shorts on. You go put pants on, go put a shirt on, go put this on. And it's automatically like you are seen as just this like
Mm-hmm.
sexual vessel. And, I tend to, make connections to slavery, right? In slavery, what was the black woman's role outside of picking cotton?
yeah,
You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And
seen a
so it's
little.
unfortunate how we see the impact of our history and how we are our own, we like are our worst enemy. And we get
And
in
that's
our
tough, bro.
own way
Yeah, we
all the
really do.
time.
It's
Let me just say, bro, because this hurt my soul,
it
really,
really be like that too. It's
as a
sad.
nigga, as somebody who has a baby girl,
Mm,
like I
Oh, yeah.
now am in the role of fatherhood with a daughter, and
mm,
like I literally have to work on training my mind in a sense. Now, mind you, I can't. Ain't no way that I would just be like, you go out and wear whatever you want to wear. You know what I'm saying? But there's
mhm.
also a sense of like some things ain't bad.
Yeah.
It's
No.
just historically
Mm,
niggas will try to act like, oh, you can't wear those shorts. But you look everywhere, everybody and their mama
mhm.
Especially
wears
their
the same
mamas
things.
are wearing the
Especially their
shorts.
mamas.
Especially the mamas.
Their mamas wear the shorts.
Yeah.
So, it's a long journey. It's a long journey, but I appreciate this conversation.
Mm.
We
Definitely.
never really talk about serious stuff like this, like for this
Yeah.
long. You know.
But we and sadly we have to move on. But Casey, we first of all we thank you for being on this podcast and thank you for speaking your truth. You know what I'm saying?
Period.
For
I,
everybody who was saying disrespectful things in those comments. In the great words of Jamie Foxx, fuck
fuck you.
you, fuck you, fuck, 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 fuck. Okay.
Yeah.
All
Bitch ass
right,
niggas.
let's move on, man.
Bitch ass
We
niggas.
are
Dusty
we are
ass
moving
niggas.
on to our next section, man. This is my section, man. I
Oh
call
yeah,
it
it's Tyler's turn. You want to get
Tyler's
introduced?
turntables.
You want to get
Oh,
introduced
you
by
want to
someone else?
introduce me? Go ahead. Go.
So,
Oh, yeah,
so
Casey. Oh, Jay, bring it in,
somebody,
Jay.
somebody.
Ooh, my jaw locked. You got to do it.
So this part of the podcast, and I don't think we'll introduce every section as we go. This is the first time, but this is Tyler's turntable. It's where Tyler gets to talking shit about music because he loves music not more than us, or more than some of us, but
More than who?
me,
Not more than Casey,
Oh,
me,
okay, okay.
but
Negro.
more than Jay for sure.
But we let him give him his time and talk his talk because this started as a music podcast. It's
Yeah, I
just
still need to get some
Respectfully,
things
some
off my
people have
chest.
just swayed away, and some people want to stay the straight wave. And that is you, Tyler. So this is your moment to talk about your shit.
hit the
All right,
stage.
man. Hey, welcome to Tyler's Turntable. So this week, man, of course, I'm gonna talk about Lil Baby next week. Lil Baby dropped the album called Wham, but we'll talk about that next week when I need some more time to tune in. But
Maybe
I did want
understand
to
Dre
talk
TL.
about what do you say?
Maybe understand Dre TL. I understand it now.
Yeah.
I don't get it. But
Shout
go
out Dre
ahead.
TL too. I did watch that.
He just sound like Lil Baby. That's what it is. I think that's what it is.
So I just want to throw out my favorites for 2024.
Okay.
If you feel like there's some albums I should have listened to, please put them in the comments. If you want to recommend something to me that's not on this list, let me know. But here are my favorites for the 2024. J. Cole's Might Delete Later. To me, this should win the Grammy, but I know it won't.
Oh, hold on. Before you get into that, Tyler, what is your criteria? Like,
You know
why?
what? Great question.
You know what I mean?
I
Like,
appreciate
what
that.
makes these albums like albums for you?
Yeah, like what makes them your
A
favorite?
couple things, man. Anything that make me that can make me feel something, like
Mm.
really make me feel something. I need songs that can put me in a different place. Make me feel like I can relate to it. Production, awesome production. That's very much a key. But any album that can really make you feel what they may be trying to make you feel, I feel like is really where I'm at with it. So that's like really the only um that's the only criteria for me. I gotta feel something. I gotta feel something because I could listen to albums and that shit go put in the background, bro. And you get to the last song, and you're like, bro, I don't even know what the fuck just happened. So
That
that's
happens
where
a
I'm
lot
at.
to me.
Yeah. So J. Cole's might delete
Listening
later.
to.
J. Cole's might delete later actually came out the weekend my daughter was born. So shout out to Cole. I needed that one. Shit. That was a long ass weekend. All right. GNX by Kendrick Lamar. I know that's recency bias, but damn.
That was good.
That shit was good.
Solid project.
Shout out to Beyonce, man. Cowboy Carter. Two Hands to Heaven. I think that's my favorite joint on that joint. But I think as a whole, Cowboy Carter it changed a lot of shit this year. You know what I'm saying? Big shout out to Vince Staples and Dark Times. I think it's a very underrated project, but Dark Times was great. But I also feel like Ramona Radio, for me, put that album. It made me listen to it even more. Ramona Radio was Vince Staples' Apple Music radio show, and when he would put the songs in the radio mix and explain it more, I would just keep coming back. I'm gonna sound like an old nigga, man, but the Auditorium Volume 1 by Common and Pete Rock. Give me the 90s feel.
Grammy nominated.
But hear me out. Grammy nominated. Whenever old niggas can come back and make their era feel fresh, that's hard to do. LL Cool J didn't do it.
Yeah, LL Cool J.
You get what I'm saying? All right. We're switching R&B real quick. Shout out to Raven Lene with her album Bird's Eye. I love that album.
You talked about this a lot too. You did like this album.
She had the Childish Gambino feature, the Ty Dolla $ign feature. I thought that album as a whole was absolutely amazing. Her voice is angelic. Toby Nwigwe, Hood Hymns. Gotta give a shout out to Toby. Hey Toby, at some point you gotta change the colors. I mean,
the mint.
The mint is hard though.
No, it's hard, but it's been like 4 straight albums of mint.
Yeah.
Nigga ain't got.
It's hard. It's hard.
Anyway,
that's his color.
It's his thing now at this point, you know.
Yeah. Big shout out to Alligator Bites Never Heal.
Waiting on
by
it. I was
Doechii.
waiting for you to
I
say
think
that.
this gonna win it. I think this gonna win it. She's going on a campaign.
Like that'll win it. La Russell, man, thank you for the album named Velour. I know he dropped probably about 4 or 5 in 2024, but his album Velour, I thought it was really good, produced by this producer named Wonderlust. It was totally different from all the other shit he dropped that year because it wasn't like West Coast vibe. It was a real mix of him singing, rapping, but on some real smooth stuff. I think one of my favorites on there is Peanut Butter Insides. Y'all go check that one out.
That sounds funny. That sounds funny.
It's deep though. It may sound funny.
That sounds funny.
It may sound fun, but the song deep. I'll send it to you. All right. We got Glorious by Glorilla. Big shout out to Glow. Came with it.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally, man, we got, you can't forget about Tim's Born in the Wild. That
good album.
That album got me in shape. I would go running with that one, man. And I got some no, those are my favorites. Now I do got some honorable mentions. I'm gonna just run through this list.
Damn, you got a lot of honorable mentions.
I know. American Dream, 21 Savage, Gap Year by Layla. Khadijah don't like that one. Heavy by Sir. You Only Die Once, Freddie Gibbs. Blue Lips, Schoolboy Q. You Made Me a Star by Four Bats. Crossroads by Corday. I just need more time with that one. I like it, but I need more time with it. IDK, Bravado, and Intimo. And finally, Last Lap by Rod Wave, man. That is a lot of, I'll be listening to a lot of shit at work. So 2024, I must say, after like going back and tuning in, like it really was a good year. It was a good year for music. Even without a Drake album, we still got Cole and Kendrick in the same year.
Yeah,
we don't get that. We don't get that too often, man. We really don't. And Kendrick had his time.
If
So it was
Drake
beautiful.
pushed it, he would have been in. It would have been a full year with all three.
Yeah. I mean, and even though Drake ain't give the album, we got the diss tracks.
Yeah.
You know,
We got
KC
the
or well,
diss tracks.
I know I had a lot in there, but any albums you feel like or any song you feel like I'm like, yo, I can't believe you ain't put that on there. There's one that I feel like people would not like me for, but what do y'all think?
I think the only one that I was just like, damn, you didn't add it. But technically, I feel like it was like the tail end of 2024, which is like Scissors Deluxe. I think
I ain't gonna
that was
lie.
solid, but it was like the tail end of 2024. So it's
Yeah.
like, oh,
I can't lie. I just haven't tuned in. I think I
it's
got through like
now.
5.
This is what I'll say. I feel like you would genuinely enjoy it, Tyler, because it's such. I know you're somebody that likes tasteful sampling.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And the sampling, I would say, I
30 for
don't, and
30 was hard.
maybe it's because she
30
was,
for 30 go
with
hard.
Kendrick, and Kendrick was kind of like plugging
Yeah.
in, but the sampling was well done. It wasn't cheesy. It wasn't cheap. You know, the
This could have
sampling
been an
was.
album. This should have been. It should have
Honestly,
just been
it
another
could have.
album. I don't know why she
I
didn't
mean,
do
I
that.
see why she called it Lana though.
Why?
Why?
Well, I see why it wasn't SOS Deluxe. It was. I mean, we know it was the
Oh,
deluxe
like
for
she
SOS.
gave it
but
another
she
name.
gave it
She
a
gave it
name.
another name.
Yeah.
You
That's
get what I'm
facts.
saying? And plus, like, if they all blend in the same vibe as SOS, then I get it. Because
Yeah,
Yeah, it does.
the feel of SOS is different from Control. So I feel like when
it
she's
is.
gonna
Yeah.
drop an album, you're getting like a totally different vibe. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Almost similar to when Kendrick drops. In a
Okay.
sense.
Okay. I like that.
But yeah, I feel like the one that people gonna maybe be like, bruh, how you ain't like that? How you ain't add that was Future and Metro Boomin.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, I did think about that, but you didn't seem like you was really feeling it.
I'm not
You
gonna
wasn't
hold you.
talking
I mean,
about that much.
Besides
it was
like that, I just
cool,
wasn't a
but
fan.
it was it like you know what I
I
mean?
like
There's only
Cinderella.
2 songs. There's truly only 2 for me. Everyday Hustle and Like That. Them the only
Yeah.
2 where I'm less like.
Yeah,
them
just
joints was
yeah,
hard.
those
Yeah.
two, and then I like Cinderella. But
Yeah,
that Cinderella was a SoundCloud song he dropped years ago.
Oh, I
like
didn't
you
know
saying
that.
though,
Yeah.
based on my criteria, bro, really ain't too much Future do for me. That I'm like, bro, that hit me.
Yeah.
But I'm
I'm not
just
gonna
not
hold
in that
you.
life.
Future mixtape, like early in his career,
Mhm.
did something to my spirit. Like I felt it. Damn near had me wanting to pick up a goddamn Sprite bottle and put a
I'm
little,
telling
little
you.
something in it.
We just know he ain't living that life no more. I just feel like
Yeah.
he ain't living that life no more. He's been rich too long. I feel like
I want the Future that did Tony Montana. You know, where the nigga couldn't even open his mouth.
Tony Montana.
That's the
I
kind of
know what that nigga
struggle.
was
You know
like.
what I
You
mean?
could tell he was being
Same damn time.
Same damn.
Same damn
Niggas
time.
felt the same damn
I'm
time.
telling
He
you.
had
You
that
would
song
never-
with Rihanna. What he could
Oh.
he was terribly singing.
Hey.
L-O-V-E-E.
Niggas was like, damn, that's how I was thinking about later.
That's how I'm
And
sing.
I'm all
that's how I'ma
for
sing the Sierra.
developing and maturing, but it doesn't. I don't know. Future. I don't know.
He got too many. He got grown kids now. It don't hit the
Yeah.
same.
Yeah.
Still
Yeah.
like him, but it don't hit the same.
But yeah, anything else? Any other ones I'm missing?
I can't think of any.
Hey man, well look, I
No, you
appreciate
got the
it.
nail
I
on the head.
appreciate
I
it.
think.
thought it was
Did you
pretty good.
order them like that on purpose?
Oh, it was just random.
It was yours, just
Not
random.
necessarily. Not
Okay.
necessarily. No. Even though I do feel like might delete later. I don't care what nobody say.
That's your number one.
Yeah.
That's my number one.
Yeah,
in
you did
2020.
like that. Yeah, I listened to it again. Every time I listen to it, I'm like, damn, this shit was fire. It
Whole
was
click getting slid on you a mouse.
that
pad. I said,
fucking
come on.
diss track really sucked the wind out of that
I
album
think it
for
did.
a lot
if
of
he
people.
if he legit did not have that diss track, his album
and just drop that album, it would have been a different story.
But Jay, let me just say though, for the nigga to call it might delete later, and then actually delete the song later,
yeah,
it's kind of hard.
I think the name came for just that song. I
Yeah,
feel like
it's
he had a
kinda
different
hard,
name for
bro.
it. So it's kind of that
You know what
album
I'm
was
saying.
fire. That shit was fire. Like every
Looking forward to
song
the
hit,
fallout.
every song hit, and people just don't talk about the shit. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm getting
it's
upset
cold.
again.
It's cold.
I listen to it with my nephew.
But yeah, them my albums of 2024. Yeah, next week I'm hoping to talk about Lil Baby's John. Y'all know, so Lil Baby actually he dropped Wham, but
He got the deluxe
rumor is
coming
in
out.
February. Rumor is in February he's dropping a totally different one.
Oh, really?
Called
I heard he's
Domino.
Another
dropping.
project.
I heard he's
Yeah,
already dropping the deluxe.
called Dominic. He probably
He's
will
dropping the
because
deluxe, and he took shots at Gunna.
he got another one coming, man. He
Okay,
got
can
another one
we
coming.
clarify this before we get into the next segment? Did Gunna snitch? Like, did we solidify that?
I don't. I think.
Because in
I
his
honestly, it doesn't
in the
even say.
baby's
Yeah.
part, he said, "You ratted. I'm not like that's not good in my eyes." Type shit. Like I'm not about to
I
overlook
think
that.
in the sense of like, here's my thing. I don't know if you're supposed to take a plea. I don't know if you're supposed to do
No,
like,
but taking a plea doesn't mean you rat though.
But he was like, yes, but here's the thing. It was a what was it? It was a RICO charge, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if that's the case,
he had nothing to do with it. The guy was just making music.
Yeah, but he was like, yes, I'm part of the gang. Like, you know, a lot of like there's key words that was said when he was they recorded him like
that
saying
shit
this
turned out to be a fucking sham anyways.
At the end of the day,
they didn't have nothing on them. When the shit started coming out, they didn't have nothing.
I told you.
Well, it was a mistrial, honestly. It was a mistrial. That dude Woody came out, he lied. He was just saying Young Thug was it on it, but Young Thug had no part. You just get every time he got hemmed up, he's like, "I'll tell you about Young Thug. Young Thug did this. Young Thug did that."
Dog. I mean, you know, I just wanna point the case out.
That nigga's right.
This came up. And Jay was like, "Oh, in the RICO."
Hey, no, the feds don't play, but the feds got fed misinformation.
That's not a little feat, though.
Yeah,
the feds to come for you.
Yeah,
no,
I'm very
but the feds was misled. That's what it
crazy.
was. They had an unreliable source that was reliable.
Sense,
that's the problem, though. They had an unreliable source, but was reliable. Like he was snitching on the good thing. He was snitching, but he was also lying. So everything he did snitch on, they was getting convictions. But so when they finally would he'd be like, I ain't got nothing else for them. Young Thug did this. Like that's what he was doing. So because he was a good informant, they was like, oh, Young Thug must be doing the shit because he's our trusted rat.
I just feel like the feds should just
they didn't make a movie about this shit.
Than a nigga snitch. Oh, I can't wait.
Oh, that movie's gonna be good.
I'm also very much looking forward to some.
He can't go back to Atlanta for a minute.
Thug dropping in 25, bro.
I mean, yeah, he's gonna have to. He ain't had nothing but time. Nothing but time to work on music.
Thug could tour for the rest of his life and be fine.
Him and Mariah the Scientist probably gonna get married.
All right, man.
No, they're not.
All right, man. Let's finish this thing off with our last segment, man. So we have been podcasting for a very long time now, and people ask us hella questions. People come to us, hey, we want to start a podcast.
Might even say we're extraordinaires.
Yeah, we know
that's a fact.
We know some shit now.
People ask us hella questions, and we're tired of answering them. So here we are with our podcast tips, and if you want our answers, come check out the video. Get our views up, if you know what I'm saying. So each week we're going to give a podcast tip to help you guys out. And our first podcast tip of the week is condenser mics versus dynamic mics. And we will let our producer extraordinaire get this thing started off. Jay,
I'm going to keep it simple and sweet. All right. So there's two types of mics you're going to need for podcasting. You're going to either have a condenser mic or a dynamic mic. Condenser mic is really good. They're really good mics. You're good for using them for streaming, and if you're in a soundproof room, specifically a soundproof room, because they pick up everything. If you're going to play an instrument, you're going to want to use a condenser mic. You're going to record a song, you're going to want to use a condenser mic. But that's why in studios, the rooms are soundproof, because it gets every sound, everything. They're really good mics. But if you can't have a soundproof room, use a dynamic mic. The thing about a dynamic mic is it gets what you're saying into it from a direct line. You have to speak into it and speak clear and speak up into it, but it records a really good sound, especially if you have a noisy background, people walking around, people in your house, dogs, cats, the random fire alarm beep in your house, all that nonsense, rain. So if you're going to do this and you do this from home and you do this with a group of friends, get a dynamic mic. That would be my recommendation. You gotta pay a little bit of extra money. Sometimes they do make USB ones. You can plug it right in your computer. Dish out the extra cash. Get yourself a nice little dynamic mic that needs an XLR connection.
We'll
I'll
talk more
explain
about
that
those
in
another episode.
another episode. But those are the type of mics you'll need for your podcast. That's
Oh, let me just
podcast tip of the
add,
week.
man.
Ciao.
Oh, go ahead. Oh, let me add, man. If you listen to our first couple episodes,
Oh yeah,
we use condenser mics,
mm-hmm.
and I must say, we've come up. We've
It's
come
bad.
a long way.
Sounds
A
bad.
long
Yeah.
way.
And KC,
And I will
when you
say,
came on, you had one of the top ones.
KC had one of the best ones.
Yeah.
And I must say, man, like at the end of the day, if you want to get into this game, like, man, I mean, work with what you can, work with what you got, but at the same time, like, you should always be working to improve the sound quality.
Mhm.
Every chance you get, improve the sound quality. That is the first step. Even before video, improve the sound quality, in my opinion. And the first step to doing that, get you a dynamic microphone. KC,
And I will
you got
say
anything?
too, the dynamic mic, you can get all the shit that I have for podcasting I got off Amazon. Like you can get that shit for the low.
Everything.
Amazon is a great starter pack for starting this. I mean, down to the microphone stands and all the other shit we'll mention. Think about, you want to invest. If you want to produce quality material, quality content, the investment it's gonna be so much better in the long run. I guarantee y'all.
And
And there
don't
you
be
go.
afraid to upgrade over time. Take your time.
Yeah.
Upgrade over time.
Content is king, but then the quality is
Audio quality is more important than anything else. If you have a good video but bad audio, ain't nobody gonna watch that video. So it starts with the mic.
big facts. Big facts. All right, we appreciate.
Yes. Oh, should we give examples?
Nah, them niggas figure it out.
Yeah, I mean,
If we give it,
the mics
we
we
can do
use-
another episode.
Not
Oh,
the
the mics are
niggas will
dynamic.
figure it
The
out. I'm
Samsung
screaming.
Q2U and the
We-
Rode Pod mic, that's what I use.
Thank you, Jay. We do use the Casey and I use the Samsung. What's the Samsung QTU?
Yeah.
Q2U.
And the shit
Q2U.
go
Samsung
crazy.
Q2U. Jay
It's more affordable.
Jay has the Rode Pod mic, which looks exceptionally professional.
They sell it in Target. They have a bundle.
Target.
Yeah, they have a bundle.
For all you
Saw it the other
bougie
day.
They got a bundle.
There we go, man. That is our podcast tip of the week, and that is our episode, man. We really appreciate y'all for tuning in to our first episode of 2025. Holy cow, we are officially 5 years into the
5
decade.
years, Jesus.
let's
It's the
get to
20s,
it.
nigga. Damn.
Yeah, we appreciate y'all for tuning in. We'll see y'all. Hopefully y'all listen to us next week. Stay black.
Stay blessed.
Peace.
Peace.
Yeah.